Samsung Princess married her bodyguard, but soon her life became a nightmare. Are you surprised? When Lee Boo-jin married her bodyguard in 1999, it felt like a fairy tale. Unfortunately, it shocked the Korean people when the marriage turned out to be a huge scandal. For a high-profile lady to tie nuptial knots with a security guard, she probably had in her imagination what a sweet relationship that would be. However, what she imagined would be a fantasy became a depressing reality. Eager to know what happened to her and the hidden truth behind their divorce? Let's dive into this captivating tale. Lee Boo-jin, born on the 6th of October 1970, is a South Korean billionaire businesswoman who is the president and chief executive of Hotel Shilla, one of Seoul's leading hotels and conference centers. The media dubbed Lee Little Lee Kun-hee because she is the second daughter of her father, Kun-hee, who was the chairman of the Samsung dynasty. She was next in succession as a woman, so the name Samsung Princess was given to her by fanatics of Samsung. She was also regarded as a successful businesswoman for her work in Hotel Shilla. She is the younger sister of the present Samsung Electronics executive chairman, Lee Jae Yong, and the older sister of Lee Seo-hyun, chairman of Samsung Welfare Foundation. Her siblings, Jae Lee and Lee Seo-hyun, studied at Keio University in Tokyo and Parsons School of Design in New York. Still, Boo-jin opted for Yonsei, a university at the homeland. In Korea, studying abroad is an indicator of status and wealth. So many chaebol scions attend universities outside the country. Lee's brother Jae Yong studied at Keio University in Tokyo and obtained his master's degree. At the same time, her sister Seo-hyun obtained her bachelor's degree at Parsons School of Design in New York. However, unlike her siblings, Lee decided to stay in Korea and attend Yonsei University, which is preferred by K-drama stars for her bachelor's degree, majoring in children's studies. Her choice of a local university is even more surprising, considering that she studied French in high school at Daewon Foreign Language High School, one of the best language schools in South Korea. As the chief executive officer of Hotel Shilla, her language skills must be useful. She speaks perfect English and Japanese too. She was an incredible woman featured on a big annual list by Forbes and Fortune almost every year. In 2015, she was chosen for Fortune's Most Powerful Women of Asia-Pacific list, Forbes's Korea's 50 Richest rank in 2020, and its Billionaires list in 2021. It's amazing that Lee Boo-jin, the eldest female Samsung heir, was the original name of Lee Yoo-jin. It's not unusual for Korean public figures to change their names for better pronunciations or meanings. According to the Korea Herald, 725,000 Koreans legally changed their names between 2002 and 2012. Of course, there are stage names too. However, Lee's case is unique because she changed her name at 3. According to the Chosun newspaper, Lee had a weak body and was affected by various health issues when she was a child. Her cousin Jae-hyun, chairman of CJ Group, suffers from Charcot-Marie tooth disease. Since the disorder can run in families, the publication speculated as to whether Lee suffers from it too. The Korean public widely believes that Lee's parents decided to change her name from Lee Yoo-jin to Lee Boo-jin for better luck and a healthier body. The pronunciation of Boo is stronger than Yoo, and the character for Boo means rich. Chosun reported that she appeared to become healthier after changing her name. That sounds quite mystical, you know. Among Samsung's heirs, Lee has proven to be very open and kind to humanity. She famously offered up Shilla stays rooms to victims of the massive fire in Ulsan in October 2020. Aside from that, another story showcases her kindness too. In 2014, a taxi crashed into the revolving doors of Hotel Shilla, injuring a hotel staff member and a hotel guest. The taxi driver had to pay almost $40 million in damages. However, instead of being angry that the driver had damaged her business, Lee was worried about him and requested her company's vice presidents visit him directly at home to check on him. They discovered that he was living in a one-room flat and caring for his sick wife, who had suffered from a stroke. When she learned about this, Lee decided to drop the charges and sent gifts of beef and cake instead. After Chosun picked up the story, the Korean public showered her with praise for her generosity. The Hankyoreh even reported that, according to a survey, she became rated the #1 chief executive officer role model at the time. She's also a fashion icon. K-pop idols aren't the only Korean public figures who know how to dress. Korean netizens describe Lee as possessing classy and feminine looks with the dignity of a queen, and a look at any of her photos will reveal why. She's also popular for her sense of style and choice of brands. Chosun even ranked her number 5 on its top fashion in Korea list. In 2011, a photo of Lee shopping with her young son at a department store went viral online. Netizens thought the impression she gave off was that of a typical mum with her son, not an untouchable chaebol. Some particularly eagle-eyed users even pointed out the Cetaphil lotion in her shopping trolley, which became known as Lee Boo-jin's lotion and quickly became a trend. She was down to earth, regardless of the amount of influence and wealth amassed. Her kind-heartedness paid off in her business and social affairs, but not in her personal life, especially her marriage. Lee Boo-jin, a woman with a warm smile and a very large heart, finalized a dramatic divorce in 2020 because she had an execrable marriage experience. Lee's marriage with her ex-husband, Im Woo-jae, legally ended in 2020, after over 5 years of battling it out in court. There was a lot of drama in the marriage and even before the divorce proceedings. How did the duo meet initially, and what kind of pain would a kind-hearted woman experience that led to a divorce? You are about to find out. Keep watching. Many expected Lee Boo-jin, president and chief executive of Hotel Shilla, to marry a man of the same class as her. However, she shocked everyone when she revealed her affection for a low-profile brat, a commoner in society named Im Woo-jae. It's not even clear how they started dating, but both possibilities sound like a plotline from a K-drama about chaebols. Im Woo-jae began working at Samsung Communication and Technology Corporation in 1995, 4 years before the couple married. When news of their marriage broke, Samsung officially announced they met when Im Woo-jae participated in a company-organized volunteering activity. He was a private security guard for the Lee family, protecting them wherever they went, especially Lee, so she began relying on him. Due to the security she felt whenever he went out with them and the loyalty he displayed, she fell in love with the bodyguard, which led to their dating. The bodyguard couldn't also resist the charm of the Samsung princess, knowing fully well he was not of her class. Still, their souls were made to be with each other, and he reciprocated the love to her, although he had no intentions of taking it further to marriage, knowing his status in society fully well. A pauper and a princess relationship is a scandal among the Koreans. Only the rich marry the rich to maintain their status and propagate their wealth and influence. So Im Woo-jae, the bodyguard, never wanted to take the relationship further to marriage, knowing fully well he had no chance. But that was not Lee Boo-jin's intention. She wanted him to marry her, so they would make beautiful memories together. Chosun Biz reported that Lee's parents, Samsung Chief Executive Officer Lee Kun-hee and Hong Ra-hee, wouldn't acknowledge their marriage. Lee even went on a hunger strike to persuade them. She was madly in love with her bodyguard, who could not marry her because of his status. But Lee Kun-hee, father to Lee Boo-jin, encouraged him to marry her. He agreed to marry her, but before the marriage would take place, he needed to up his game in society to come up to the standard of the elites. This made a lot of reactions from fans and society at large. Netizens were furious at the scandalous act when the marriage occurred, stating, "Why would Samsung allow that to happen? The Samsung princess can't marry her bodyguard because he is not of standard." Many were furious, feeling Lee Boo-jin did not know what she did. Probably, she was hypnotized to stoop so low and marry a poor-class security personnel. This period was not easy for the duo and the Samsung family due to the reactions and pressures from society. For the chief executive officer of Samsung to save his face and that of his daughter after their marriage, the Samsung head, Lee Kun-hee, father to Lee Boo-jin, sent her husband, Im Woo-jae, to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States to increase his mental acuity and cognitive abilities. He also earned a Master's of Business Administration there. After all he had achieved at the Institute of Technology, he returned home and quickly became an executive of Samsung Electromechanics. He wanted to match his societal status, but this became a depressing reality for Im Woo-jae. He couldn't live out his life like he thought he would. The pressure to impress society and keep to the standard was taking a toll on him, affecting their marriage. He came from a poor background and wasn't used to the lifestyle and paparazzi experienced by the influentials in the society. Meanwhile, they expected this from him. On the other hand, the wife came from a wealthy background and couldn't fathom why he couldn't live as such. So, a lot of inner conflicts were already ongoing. It seemed like the bodyguard she knew before marriage became a hell spot after marriage. His insecurities also grew largely due to her fame and influence. One of the reasons the duo couldn't be the perfect match, as imagined by the Samsung princess, was that marriage life is different. The character Woo Jae maintained as the bodyguard could be due to his job description then. She probably fell in love with his personality then. Unfortunately, since he became her husband, he took off that charade. It became a different ballgame eventually. The couple's experience was full of ups and downs, and eventually they divorced. How did the divorce happen, and what became of them? You are about to find out. Keep watching. After the couple failed to resolve their differences through counseling and arbitration, Lee initiated the lawsuit, ultimately resulting in this ruling. Lee Boo-jin, Samsung heiress and Shilla hotel head, filed the suit against her estranged husband, a former consultant at Samsung Electromechanics Company, in 2014 to end 15 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. The suit was initially heard at the Suwon District Court in Suwon, south of Seoul, whose sentence in early 2016 granted the divorce. It was transferred to the Seoul court when Im Woo-jae successfully questioned the case's jurisdiction because their last residential area was Seoul. In July 2017, the Seoul family court confirmed the divorce, giving Lee sole custody of her then 7-year-old son and allowing Im Woo-jae to visit him once a month. The court also ordered her to pay her husband 8.6 billion won in the asset division. Earlier, Im Woo-jae had claimed 1.2 trillion won from her in the division by estimating her assets at 2.5 trillion won. Jae appealed against the Seoul court's ruling, but the appellate trial ran idle for 1.5 years as he evaded the bench, which his lawyers claimed had something to do with the Samsung family. The Supreme Court accepted the claim, and a new bench was allotted to the trial. When the court hearing came, neither Lee Boo-jin nor Im Woo-jae was present. The court granted the divorce of Lee Boo-jin, 46 years old, president of the Shilla Hotel, and eldest daughter of Samsung Group chairman Lee Kun-hee, and Im Jae, 48 years old, permanent consultant at Samsung Electromechanics Company, ending their 17th-year marriage. On the 14th of January, Honorable Ju Jin-oh ruled partially in favor of Lee Boo-jin in a divorce lawsuit she brought against Im, her husband. Ju is a family law judge at the Seongnam Branch Court under the Suwon District Court. The court awarded Lee legal and physical custody over her son in the 2nd grade of elementary school. At the same time, it recognized Im's visitation rights for the child and permitted Im Woo-jae to see him once a month from 2 p.m. on Saturday to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Woo-jae had repeatedly expressed his opposition to the divorce, and he had also been sharply opposed to Lee on the issue of physical and legal custody. But with the court handing both kinds of custody to Lee, Im Woo-jae effectively lost the suit. Regarding the division of assets, a lot of serious drama occurred. The division of assets was not brought up in this lawsuit, and since the majority of assets were acquired before marriage, this is not a debatable point, Lee's lawyer said after the trial. The court's ruling is unacceptable. We will appeal as soon as we receive the verdict, Woo-jae's lawyer said. There's little precedent for providing physical and legal custody rights to the same parent in a divorce suit. Regarding the division of property, the lawyers for both sides noted that the issue did not come up in the lawsuit and was not at issue. Can you imagine? Even after Boo-jin was to pay such a huge amount of money to him, he still desired more. What a leech he was. Divorce is no stranger to the Lee family. In 2009, Jae Yong, 48 years old, the oldest son of Lee Kun-hee and vice chairman of Samsung Electronics, divorced Im Se-ryong, 39, the eldest daughter of Daesang Group honorary chairman Im Chang-wook and an executive at the Daesang Group. The two got married in 1998. Chung Young-jin, 48, vice chairman of the Shinsegae Group and son of Lee Myung-hee, younger sister of Lee Kun-hee and chairwoman of the Shinsegae Group, married actress Go Hyun-jung, 45, in 1995, but the two divorced after 8 years. Chung remarried in May 2011, this time to flutist Han Ji-hee, 36. What do you want to know about the Samsung family? Keep watching and have all your questions answered. Lee Kun-hee, born in January 1942 till his passing on the 25th of October 2020, was a South Korean business magnate who served as the chairman of the Samsung Group from 1987 to 2008, and again from 2010 until his demise in 2020. Kun-hee is also credited with transforming Samsung into one of the world's largest business entities in semiconductors, smartphones, electronics, shipbuilding, construction, and other businesses. Since Lee Kun-hee became the chairman of Samsung, the company has become the world's largest manufacturer of smartphones, memory chips, and appliances. He was the third son of Samsung founder Lee Byung-chul. With an estimated net worth of $21 billion at his demise, he was the richest person in South Korea, a position he had held since 2007. Lee Kun-hee married Hong Ra-hee, and they remained married until his demise. Their marriage was imperfect, but they went through the highs and lows together. His siblings and some of their children are also executives of major Korean business groups. Lee Boo-jin, his eldest daughter, is known as President and Chief Executive Officer of Hotel Shilla, a luxury hotel chain, and President of Everland Resort, a theme park and resort operator that is widely seen as the de facto holding company for the conglomerate, according to the Associated Press. Lee Kun-hee had 4 children, the eldest child and the only son, Lee Jae Yong, born 1968, and 3 daughters, Lee Boo-jin, born 1970, Lee Seo-hyun, born 1973, and Lee Yoon-hyung, born 1979 to 2005. The eldest child and only son, Lee Jae Yong, also faced a crisis similar to his sister, the Samsung princess. He also experienced a divorce. Let's look at his life. Lee Jae Yong, born July 18, 1968, anglicized as J.Y. Lee, is a South Korean business executive who has been serving as the executive chairman of Samsung Electronics since October 2022. He is the only son of Lee Kun-hee and Hong Ra-hee. As of April 2024, Lee had an estimated net worth of $11.5 billion, making him the wealthiest person in South Korea. In 2014, he was named the world's 35th most powerful person and the most powerful Korean by Forbes magazine's list of the world's most powerful people, along with his father, Lee Kun-hee. Lee Jae Yong was born in Seoul, South Korea. He is fluent in his native Korean, English, and Japanese. He attended Kyungbok High School and received his Bachelor of Arts degree in East Asian History from Seoul National University. He also received his Master of Business Administration degree from Keio University, a rival university of his father and grandfather's alma mater, Waseda University, Tokyo. To further his noble ambition, he enrolled in Harvard Business School for about 5 years to pursue a Doctor of Business Administration degree, but did not graduate. So he started working for Samsung in 1991. He began serving as Vice President of Strategic Planning and then as Chief Customer Officer, a management position created exclusively for Lee. His prospects for future company leadership dimmed when his father, Kun-hee, stepped down as chairman due to tax evasion. In December 2009, however, his succession prospects were revived when Lee became the Chief Operating Officer of Samsung Electronics. Since December 2012, he has been Vice Chairman of Samsung. He is one of the main shareholders of Samsung's financial services subsidiary, owning 11% of Samsung SDS. He has been described as having been groomed to take over the family firm. According to an article in Reuters, Lee is known for his cold determination and polite, quiet demeanor. He is known to reply personally to emails and assumes a light-hearted attitude with reporters. In August 2021, the Korea Herald reported that Lee retained his title as Samsung's vice chairman, despite not drawing a salary or being registered as an executive in compliance with his work ban. His financial records show that Jae Yong's wealth is valued at more than 1 trillion won when counting his listed and unlisted shares in Samsung units and other companies, excluding bank deposits and real estate that he owns. Jae Yong, a vice president of Samsung Electronics, owns about 0.57% of the country's biggest electronics maker, currently worth around 430 billion won. In unlisted shares, Jae Yong also owns about 25.1% of Samsung Everland, an amusement park operator and de facto holding company of the conglomerate, 9.1% of Samsung SDS, 7.7% of Samsung Investment Trust Management, 7.6% of Samsung Networks, 46% of SCOM technology, and stakes in other companies. Lee Jae Yong has one son, Lee Ji-ho, born in 2009, and one daughter, Lee Won-ju, born in 2004, with his ex-wife Lim Se-kyung. Lim Se-kyung is the vice chairwoman of Daesung Group. She filed for divorce from Lee Jae Yong in 2009. How much Lim will get if their divorce suit is settled remains to be seen. According to Korean law, a divorce only involves splitting wealth accumulated after marriage. Considering that Jae Yong had acquired most of his shares in Samsung Electronics and Samsung Everland before his marriage with Lim, it looks likely that his estranged wife will have to settle for much less than the 500 billion won she is seeking. The shares in Samsung SDS, Samsung Networks, and other companies that Jae Yong acquired after marriage are thought to be worth around 120 billion won. Most industry watchers believe that Jae Yong's divorce may not have a meaningful effect on his grip on the conglomerate, especially as his Samsung Everland shares, the core of the cross-holding structure, are likely to remain untouchable. The divorce suit will not have much of an effect on Samsung's succession plans or its transition into a holding company structure, said Kang Seong-bu, an analyst from Tongyang Securities. However, Samsung officials can't afford to be casual about the trouble Jae Yong will face. Courts are no stranger to odd rulings, having sometimes favored the victims. Besides, if Lim Se-kyung could provide the court with compelling evidence that justified her demand for a legal separation, it would work to her advantage. And it did. Still, partially, Lee Jae Yong is with one of the children while she is with the other. The wealthy and elites of society never experience bliss in their marital endeavors. This could be due to the other partner's greed and selfishness, aside from personal differences and backgrounds. That being said, what was Lee Boo-jin's life like after her divorce? Did she remarry or find love again? Does she have more children? Or did she focus on building her career? Keep watching to find all that out. After her divorce from Im Woo-jae, her life became a freebird experience. She focused on self-reflection and personal development. She prioritized her child's well-being and education and expanded her investment portfolio, including real estate and technology startups. She maintained her role as chairperson of the Samsung Yongkang Foundation. In addition, she continued supporting arts, education, and healthcare initiatives, donating resources to various causes, including disaster relief efforts. She also did not fail to attend cultural events, art exhibitions, and charity functions. She maintained her relationships with influential figures in Korean society. Boo-jin also collaborated strongly with her divorced brother, Lee Yong, on business and philanthropic endeavors. She greatly supported her family's interests while maintaining her independence, and her outgoing nature made her travel internationally, exploring art, culture, and nature. In those moments, she enjoyed playing golf and other favorite hobbies. After the divorce, Boo-jin rarely gives interviews, maintaining a private profile. She only appears publicly for significant events, such as charity functions, and probably recognition and awards events. The divorce did not take a negative toll on her. She demonstrated strength and resilience when facing challenges. She is currently focused on building a fulfilling life, personally and professionally. This makes many wonder what the future holds for her. With the experiences she had with her ex-husband, the possibility of her giving love a second chance is quite slim, don't you think? However, no one can tell. She might meet someone who would make her have a change of heart and embrace love again. What are your thoughts about Lee Boo-jin and Im Woo-jae? Feel free to share in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. Before you go, explore the other videos on your screen.